Hello and welcome to Math Online Academy. In today's lesson, we want to look at the concept of immunity. Immunity is talking about our body defense mechanism or the immune system. You've probably heard people saying that someone has low immune system when the person always gets sick. And that someone that doesn't get sick easily, that the person has strong immune system. So immunity is all about the defense mechanism in the body against diseases. The defense mechanism in the body against diseases. The ability of our body to protect us against diseases is what we call immunity, or the capability of our body to defend or protect us from diseases. That is what we call immunity. So when someone's immunity is low, the person will always fall sick, and when someone's immunity is high, the person will not fall sick easily. We are actually going to be looking at the mechanism, meaning types, and also look at immunization and terminologies in immunization. Immunization is a term that I'm sure you would have come across or heard frequently. Immunity, just like I have defined, I say that immunity is the body's capability to defend itself. This is itself, not myself. To defend itself against diseases. And like I said, that if someone often falls sick, the person's immunity is low, and if somebody doesn't fall sick easily, then it means that the person's immunity is high. We have some mechanisms in our body that help to fight any disease that want to attack us, and those mechanisms, they are collectively called our immune system and confer immunity to us, or protection. So immunity means protection against diseases, simple and short. Immunity means protection against diseases in our body. Now, mechanism of immunity. How does immunity happen? How does it happen in our body? Now, foreign organisms or foreign matters or foreign objects, when they enter into our body recognizes that they are foreign, they are not part of our body. Like when you inhale dust, your body will recognize that this dust is not part of its normal composition. So whatever it finds as not being normal composition of the body, it will begin to trigger a process that will remove that substance from the body. What triggers that process, or what helps to recognize that substance as a foreign body or something that is not part of our body, is the immune system. So they recognize the substance as a foreign body. The foreign body is also called antigen. In biology or in the science world, we call the foreign bodies in our body antigen. So the body will recognize, the immune system will recognize the foreign substance, the substance that is not part of our normal body. It will recognize it as an antigen. Then the body or the immune system will produce a substance that we call antibody. The immune system, that is the defense mechanism in our body, we now produce another thing called antibody. So the antigen is like the enemy in the body. In fact, antigen means enemy in the body because it comes to attack our body. So the defense mechanism, which is the our military system in the body, they will release some soldiers. The soldiers in the body, they are called antibodies. The enemies are called the antigen, while the soldiers are called the antibodies. I'm using soldiers and enemy as an illustration, not the actual name for this. So the antibody and the antigen, two of them will engage in a fight. If our antibody is strong enough, it will win the fight and prevent the disease from affecting us, or prevent the disease from being formed. And but if our body system is weak, or if our immune system is weak, then the antigen will be stronger than it. And when the antigen wins in the fight, then it will result to a disease and the person will get sick. So that is why we are advised to always do things that help to boost our immune system, that is to make it strong, so that in any fight between the antibody in our body and the antigen that is coming to our body, the antibody in our body will be able to win it and prevent the disease from being formed. So this is the mechanism of immunity in our body. I say that the antigen is the enemy coming to the body, and the antibody is the soldiers being released to fight the enemy. If the soldiers in our body are strong, they win the enemy and then we will not get sick. But if the soldiers are not strong and they are not enough, then the enemy will win and we get sick. That is what happens in patients with HIV. People with HIV, their immune system is very, very weak, and it makes it very easy for other diseases to attack them. So HIV itself does not actually kill people easily. It makes their body's immune system to be very weak, so that even if malaria attacks the person will not be able to fight it off. So any disease that comes into the person's body, it will be able to affect the person and make the person sick. So the person always gets sick because the immune system is very weak. There are other diseases that also reduce our immune system and make the body to be vulnerable to attack by enemies. So this is the mechanism of immunity. Then we look at the types of immunity. We have two types of immunity: natural immunity and artificial immunity. Natural immunity means your natural ability to protect yourself from diseases. This natural immunity, you get it often from your parents, so it is hereditary. Most of them are hereditary. It is something you are born with. Sometimes, like people that are born with strong skin, skin is also a part of our immune system because it provides a physical barrier protecting microorganisms from moving inside your body. So not everything can pass through your skin. So anything that protects us from diseases is part of our immune system. So if you are born with skin that is good enough to protect your diseases from entering your body, then that means part of the natural immunity. Other people, they have good body system within them, within their body system. The body system is healthy enough that it resists diseases easily, and that is natural immunity. Then artificial immunity is when the body is being helped to fight diseases. Like a patient with HIV, the person is always helped by giving the person drugs regularly to help the person fight diseases, because we know that any simple disease that comes to the patient will always attack the person. So they frequently receive drugs to help boost their immune system and make them able to fight diseases that want to attack them. So that is what we call artificial immunity. That is when the immune system is being supported to fight diseases. This is normally done through what we call immunization. When babies are born, after some months, they are taken for immunization, and the essence of immunization is to equip them, their body, with more ability to fight diseases. So their body is being helped to help attack enemies when it comes, and that is a form of artificial immunity. So immunization is part of artificial immunity. Now, we have different types of artificial immunity. We have active acquired immunity. Artificial immunity is also called acquired immunity. So we have active artificial immunity or active acquired immunity, and we have passive acquired immunity or passive artificial immunity. Whether you are calling it active artificial immunity or active acquired immunity, it is the same. So these are the two types of artificial immunity. Now, what is an active acquired immunity and what is a passive acquired immunity? An active acquired immunity is done by sensitizing the body with a weak antigen, that is the enemy. So it's like getting the body to know how the enemy looks like. You want to fight with somebody, or your country is preparing for a war with another country. Then you go to the country and get a sample of how those people look. Are they black? Are they white? So are they always tall or are they always short? So the body wants to know how the enemy looks, so that the next time the enemy is coming, or the one that is strong is coming, then the body will be able to prepare and know that any person that looks tall and the person is fair, the person is an enemy because it's coming from this country that we want to fight. So that is what we do in active acquired immunity. A weakened antigen, or that thing that is causing the disease, the one that is weak, that we know that the body can always overcome, it is being introduced inside our body. A small amount of it is introduced inside our body, and the essence of doing this is to make the antibody in our body to recognize it, to see that this is how the enemy looks. In case the enemy is coming next time, or a stronger one is coming next time, look at how the enemy looks, so that you should be prepared enough, and not like the enemy will come as a surprise to you. You begin to wonder, is this the enemy we want to fight, or is it another person? Is this person from the same country or from another country? So before you start thinking about that one, the body has been primed or made to know that this is how the enemy looks like. So once you see anything like that, it wouldn't think twice again and start fighting. So that is what is done in active immunity. Then in passive immunity, we introduce a specific antibody. That is, we try to equip the body with more armies to fight the diseases. So when the disease has come, or when we are expecting a disease, like we do in some countries, or in a country like in Nigeria, if where we have the Boko Haram issue, the country or the government will move more soldiers to that part of the country to help overcome the enemies that are there. So if the enemy move to another side, they will move more soldiers to that place. So that is what is done in passive acquired immunity. This one is not active, it is passive. As the enemy moves, we move soldiers that is equal in strength to them to overcome the enemy. So that is what is done in passive acquired immunity. In passive acquired immunity, we are introducing antibody, but in active acquired immunity, we are introducing antigen. So these are the differences you should note between passive acquired immunity and active acquired immunity. Now, immunization. Immunization means the process of administering vaccines to an individual to increase the person's immunity. Vaccine is the weakened antigen or the microorganism that causes the disease. A weak form of it is used to produce what we call vaccines. Like now that we have coronavirus, the vaccine for coronavirus is going to be antigen for antigen of coronavirus. That is that substance that is produced by coronavirus that causes the disease, which we call COVID-19. So that antigen, that is actually what that substance called antigen is what causes the disease. So when we get small amount of it, we use it to produce a vaccine or a form of a drug that we now put inside our body so that our body will be primed or be informed that this is how the coronavirus looks like. In case the coronavirus comes to your body, you already know that this is how it looks. Go and get your weapon ready and all the things you need to fight, get it ready, and anytime you see an enemy that looks like this, know that this one is a coronavirus and know the weapon you are going to use to fight it. So if a vaccine for coronavirus is going to be produced, they are going to use the antigen of coronavirus or a weakened an anti or a coronavirus that has been weakened or made to be very weak without much strength so that that one cannot attack the body. They will use it and produce the vaccine for coronavirus. So that is what we do in vaccine. Now, in immunization, we use the vaccine produced and then we introduce it into people or administer it into people. And the essence is to increase their body immunity, like in active acquired immunity. So that is what we do in immunization. And another name for immunization goes with vaccination and inoculation. So you can also say that immunization is vaccination or inoculation. Now, the terms we commonly use in immunization, when we are talking about immunization, we use mostly these terms. One, vaccine, which I've described what vaccine is. I say that vaccine is a weakened microorganism that causes the disease or a small amount of the antigen that causes the disease. We use it to produce a form of a drug, which we call a vaccine. Now, germ and pathogen, they are the microorganisms that are causing the disease or the disease causing agents. They are called germs or pathogens. Then antigen, I've also introduced the concept of antigen as the enemy or the foreign substance in our body. Then the antibody is the one or the substance that is produced by our immune system or by our body to fight or remove the antigens. Then the immune system itself is the body defense mechanism. All the arsenals, all the soldiers, and all the military headquarters in our body that are put together to defend our body from attack by diseases is what we call immune system. It includes all that is needed to defend our body from the attack of organisms or agents that cause diseases. So this is what we call immune system, and these terms are the terms we commonly see or use when we are referring to immunization. So this is it about immunity. We've talked about the meaning of immunity, the types of immunity, and immunization terms used commonly when we are talking about immunization.